This is production meeting 4. Surveyor's present, Luke's present, and Toiba's present. It's the 21st of December, and we're going to be talking about the running order of our radio show and further research we've done. So, who wants to start, guys?
Okay, so for my research, I had to research further into the mental health and find out how how you need to keep a healthy state of mind uh, during COVID, as obviously it's changed quite a lot of things around, like seeing people. It's quite hard to do. So yeah, and I also had to make sure that Amari that we have questions to ask Amari about fitness. So some of the questions I found were, what are some benefits to exercise? Because obviously it's important to stay healthy. So what are the benefits to actually exercising? I also found out, thought we could ask him, how much exercise should you do in a day in order to stay healthy? So like you're not overstretching yourself, but you're also doing enough to a point that you're staying healthy, but you're not pushing yourself too far and to hurt your body. Also, what are some good exercises to do? Because obviously some people don't have equipment, so some like
And
uh,
also, the gyms are closed as well.
yeah. So like, what are some indoor activities to do uh, involving just like your body, but not using equipment? What parts of the body should be exercised? So like, should you go on jogs, or should you uh, work on a certain body parts like chest, stomach, and like arms and legs, etc. Uh, are diets important to keep when uh, exercising, and why are they important to keep? We could ask in order to see how healthy a certain diet will make someone, and how important a diet is to someone's on how their body will look. Uh, and also, does keeping fit help with the mental health of a person? Because obviously, some people put themselves down if they're not a certain, if they don't look a certain way. Do you know what I mean? So, like, yeah.
Yeah. One other thing, Luke, we need to focus on the mental health, because obviously the questions we're meant to be creating Amari is for mental health. So we could ask him questions like, what exercise do you think would be good to refresh your mind? Or
Yeah,
questions like, if you were to go to the gym, to how would you do it the correct way using the guidelines?
yeah,
Yeah, so questions like that, and mostly focusing on mental health. And maybe you could have statistics about whether gyms have like lost members or decreased. Like, you could do further research into that.
yeah,
Yeah, and then maybe like show Amari could talk about what he does maybe to stay fit at home, to give him like an activity to do, and what
yeah,
he finds useful during this pandemic. You know?
yeah. I get you.
Yeah, so maybe you could look into that, questions about that. But Toyba, what did you research? Toyba,
Hmm?
what did you research?
So basically, I was supposed to research about gaming news and like the questions for the safeguarding member,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided for the games part, some of the news will be outdated by the time that we do the radio show. So I just thought that I could just change it so that me and Luke can talk about games that we both played and just talk about our experiences with it and our opinions. And like we could talk about like the arguments with PC versus console and other games that we would recommend to the viewers.
Oh, that's good.
So,
And I feel like
yeah.
that focuses on our target audience as well, which are students as well. So that's good. What are you talking about?
Yeah, since a lot of the suggestions we got from the questionnaire were about gaming and stuff like that. So I think me and Luke could talk about League of Legends because it is the most popular PC game. So I'm guessing like a lot of people know about it and maybe they could relate to the stuff that we were saying about it. Luke, if you don't mind talking about it.
Yeah. I know a little bit about that. I actually sometimes play that game, so yeah, I know.
And you could also like do research about it as well, because we've got a few more weeks as well to go. Yeah. And what are the? Did you come up with some of the safeguarding questions?
I came up with some, but obviously actually depends on if we actually get the interview since
Yeah, but
they might
that's
be busy or something.
but I think
I basically had questions like, what's the job of a safeguarding member? Like, what do they do? What are they responsible for? Where can someone go to ask questions or report something in the college? What should a person do if they're hesitant to inform someone of an incident that took place because they might be scared or embarrassed? And is there something that they like can reassure them, like their privacy not being leaked
yeah,
if they
like
don't want to
having
be?
providing
And then any
helplines
advice that
as
they can
well.
give to young people.
Yeah, and providing like helplines and how they support students that are suffering during this pandemic. I think they would be good questions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we could like have a discussion about that once the safeguarded member has been for them to phone up has been confirmed. But that's something we're gonna do. So in my research, I was meant to find out statistics about coronavirus and an update on exams and schools. So when I did my research, I found out um, that people like have said that parents especially have said like because there's a chance that the start of next term might not even happen. So they said that homeschool is hard enough because it causes the disruption and also it affects the parents because they are unable to go to work and provide for children as well. So that stops them as well and because the children are home. And also with our target audience, I found out information like secondary students are planning to go back to school in January. Um, so the government have made a new guideline about experimenting and testing. So this is this so when they go back, they want to see what happens and what happens because the COVID rates are higher enough in schools and they are mostly found in schools, the COVID cases. And also because I don't know if you guys heard, but there's a new variant virus that has come in the UK, and there's been a few cases that have been confirmed, and there's been some predictions that this spread is mostly going to happen amongst children because they are going back to school. And also schools like with exams and stuff, schools need to be prepared because there's a possibility when they go back because they extended the holiday even more for children, there might not be a possibility where they go back and it might not be open. And colleges in England, like some of the point of view we hear that um, the college students they rather sit the exam than have predicted grades because they can't rely on their predicted grades to achieve their potentials and go on to further education. Like they believe in sitting that exam because they worked hard for it and it's just not fair on them. And then I did like more research because it's like there's a increase in infection rates um and also like 50 like 50-year 11s of most of the isolating 50 year 11s are mostly known as isolating because they've been off twice, and then because they've been off, like they have more time off because they're just isolating, like they go back 1 week and then there's another COVID case um confirmed, so they have to isolate more. And then I've had like done research into what the education minister Kirsty Williams have said. She goes that it's impossible to guarantee a level playing field for exams due to the ongoing impact on COVID pandemic. So then that shows that maybe like this year we're looking at having no A levels, no GCSEs, and no SATs for year 6 because of social distancing, and like Wales have stopped it. So there's a highly possibility that there might not be any exams, and for that students are really stressing over because they are relying on their exams more than the predicted grades. So then my second part of my research was to find statistics on COVID. Um, so in England, in Luton, on the government page for Central Bedfordshire, I found out that in the last 7 days, 12.8% of people have been tested positively, and then individual tested in the last 7 days were 9,599 cases, and then the total individuals that have been tested are over 85,833 people have been tested, and then mostly in Luton, mostly Ampthill and Leighton Buzzard in North have been mostly highly affected in coronavirus. And then in the news, they said that over 1,224 new cases in the week. There's new cases towards the end of December 20th. In Luton, there's over 1,988 cases and 10 deaths, and like they're known to be increasing as the days go on. People are dying, but there's the new virus where people have their symptoms and be tested for coronavirus, but it does not instantly kill them like how it used to be. I feel like coronavirus has been normalized, and when people are tested for corona, like they recover from it. And then in the government website, I found out that daily people have been tested positive for a number of 172. So in total is 8,513. So according to the public Health England, in the past 24 hours, there's the age group between 21-year-olds with a total number of cases of 2,209 people have been tested positive. But that's so far the research I've done. So I thought that would be important to include because obviously people might not understand about the new virus, and it's most likely to affect like high school kids and children instantly. Do you guys have any other research I could do?
Nice. Now by the way, let's talk about the draft running
I
order.
can't hear you, Toiba.
The running order.
Hmm?
The running order.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about the running order. So obviously we have to start off by you two, because you guys are the presenters. You guys have to give an introduction. So maybe you could introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're introducing yourself, like make it seem enthusiastic.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a very enthusiastic individual.
And then what else? What should be the first topic we talk about?
We said that we're going to talk about sports news. and then the clone effect.
Play, but it's not clear. I can't hear you very well.
You not? Okay, never mind then.
Hello.
Never mind.
Oh yeah. So so what's the first topic we're gonna talk about? Did you say?
Sports news.
Yeah, because obviously, like in radio shows, we do tend to hear like some brief information about
Yeah,
news. Yeah. So what kind of news are you guys going to talk about?
the sports.
Sports. So are you guys going to do like research before then or after or during that day?
Probably during that week, I would say, so it's up to date.
So what type of news are you guys? What type of sports news are you going to talk about?
All different sorts, I guess. So like football, rugby, cricket, even anything was going on. Boxing.
How
I mean,
long?
we could talk about like how like some of the matches might not be happening because of Corona and Tier 4.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
How long do
And
you guys
then
think?
yeah,
How long do you guys think that would be take?
4 minutes, probably.
Yeah. So do you think after that 4 minutes we should include an advert? Like a 2-minute advert?
yeah, I think so. And then we can, I think we have like what is gonna be 4 minutes per topic, and then
Yeah, and then maybe we could have an advert because I
mm,
think in between you do need like breaks.
yeah, and then some of the breaks have to be music as well. So
Yeah. Okay, and then what should we talk about after that? Maybe we could talk about
could we have the interview with Amari then, since it's in the topic of sports?
Yeah.
So maybe towards the end of the radio show we can say like something like we're gonna have a guest calling into the show, Amari, who talks about mental health.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then Amari, and then after the break we could have Amari come on the show, introduce himself. We could ask him questions.
Do you mean call in?
Yeah, call in and like
Yeah.
hear his point of view about how he thinks mental health
Mhm.
is important, and with the questions we do as well. How does that sound?
Yeah. Good.
Then should we
Yes.
have another advert but with music?
I don't think we should have that many adverts, to be
Nah,
honest.
I don't. I think we should only. I don't know. Yeah.
So how long do you
'Cause
think Amari's interview would take?
3-4 minutes as well.
I
Maybe
would
2.
say 5.
I don't know. It depends how much into detail he goes.
Yeah. So let's just make it 5 just to be on the safe side.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what
It's
else?
already 10 minutes are gone then. We have 20 minutes.
Yeah. Then we can talk about some like news maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about cases, and maybe we could talk about that new we could talk about the exams, because that's what students would find interesting. Be like, what?
Mm.
It would be a way of getting their attention. So maybe we could have some news about you guys could talk about the cases
Yeah.
and exams.
Mhm.
Hmm. And then
I
I
think
think
towards the end we should talk about we should have the interview with the safeguarding, or at least if we don't have the interview, then just talk about sexual health, I guess.
yeah, I mean that needs to be confirmed, but I just got a feeling that it is gonna happen.
Dun,
I
dun.
think
Yeah.
they call into the show, and then we asked them questions that we created as well. So how long do you think that'd be? I think that'd be like a good 5 minutes as well. I think the interviews are gonna take, on the safe side, good 5 minutes.
Mm.
We just
They
ask
might-
them not too many questions, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 questions, important questions, because we need to keep it short and brief.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what else are we gonna do?
We can talk about the games next then.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be a correct order. So I think after the news, we should have your gaming, and then after your gaming, we should have another interview. Because if it's just interview, they're just gonna get bored of it.
Shouldn't we have like a break in between so that we can have the interview, like we can just get ready for the interview. So we can have like music playing.
I mean, we can. I mean, during then we can confirm it. Like, just before we go to start our radio show, maybe during that week we can have another discussion of what we want instead.
Mm.
So what else should we do?
What else did we have?
Your gaming. When do you want to talk about your gaming?
I mean, I would want to do it like
Maybe at the end, because it's like it kind of happy, I guess.
oh yeah.
More positive, and then you could just do a quick outro.
Have we added mental health, the impact of like music and that on mental health?
Should we have that before the gaming one then?
Yeah, because it's a bit more depressing.
Yeah, then you guys can say, here's some music to help with mental health.
Oh, okay.
What else, guys?
I mean, it's only 30 minutes and we already had, I think this will take enough. It's just a draft anyways. So it's not going to be like the confirmed order. And I'm pretty sure we're having 3 songs in the thing, so.
I mean, is that all?
Yeah.
Should we end the meeting now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to end it until next time when I do our next meeting? On the
Pardon?
second.
End the meeting.
Oh,
Or
sorry.
during the meeting.
Shall we end it?
Yeah.
Please, Luke.
Stop.